Inspired by the teachings of John Dewey, Elizabeth Harrison, Edna Dean, and Clarabelle Baker set out to create a school culture that inspired a lifelong love of learning, treated students as individuals who shape their own learning, focused on hands-on, experiential learning, and fostered empathy and caring connections throughout the fabric of the schools.
In 1918, Clarabelle Baker became the first director of what we now call Baker Demonstration School, which was the demonstration school of National College of Education, now National Louis. Thus began a tradition that Baker has carried on for 100 years.
The summer of 2006 heralded the purchase of the National Louis Evanston campus from the university. It is this revitalized Baker that carries the values of our founders into the 21st century.
We talk a lot about not what we're doing now as parents or board members, but the legacy we're leaving for our children's children. And so I get really excited about what Baker will look like in 5 years, in 10 years, and in the next 100 years.
Baker has the ability to, in its more intimate setting, to know the kids better.
Our oldest was having a not so great experience in the public schools, and we were looking around and really felt that the environment here that was very warm, very welcoming, very positive.
Everyone gets schooled, but I think very few of us get a real education.
Baker does a fabulous job of drawing each child forward from where they are to their future potential self.
Things we consider to be subjects really are all part of the same thing. And the fact that all of these things go into everything that we do as humans was something that I first learned at Baker and has stayed with me my whole life.
I'm following in the footsteps of two pioneering women and countless teachers and leaders that did profound things to ensure that children's education was central, and everything else followed after that.
In a time when the future of the school was in doubt, we really decided, oh, this school's too important. Let's make this happen.
They gave the parents basically a choice. We could pay something in the range of $15 to $20 million, and they would build us a new space in the new facility that they were going to build and lease. Option two was basically, well, we, National Louis, would love it if you guys wanted to buy the real estate from us.
Most people elected to stay, which was the only basis upon which the school could survive. Because you could go through all of those transactions, but if you have no kids, then the school can't survive financially.
There was a bit of a rallying cry because people knew that their children were learning in a way that was very authentic and purposeful. When a middle schooler loves to come to school every day, something good is happening there. Everyone just jumped in and started working at it.
With the idea of maintaining the things that were positive about the
things
school.
that worked.
Parents were well aware that we were on the brink of either surviving or not surviving.
There was a real core of families who just felt that they couldn't imagine their kids anywhere else, and that this was a place for them.
There was a lot of hope and energy, and we had lots of parents just step up and do incredible things for our school.
We had the faculty and the parents really arm in arm together, embracing this challenge of making this place a success.
This school has to be about the children first, a whole child first, and then all the other things will fall into place, or we'll figure them out.
The students really learn the best when they are in an environment that matches the world in which they need to live in. Not just socioeconomically diverse, but diverse in terms of people of color, people of different abilities, genders. That was part of the core vision from the very beginning.
The beauty in a school is its diversity and how everybody can come together and use their voice to help change things that need to be changed, but also to kind of advocate for the community as well.
There are just so many families who are so involved and who all deserve so much recognition. But at the same time, I'm sure the current families are equally committed, and I'm sure they'll each find their own way to make a significant difference here in whatever fashion.
My son was going into kindergarten,
so he visited here, and when we left, we said, "What did you like about it?" And he said, "Well, the people were really nice." And it was the first time he mentioned people. Everything else was like, oh, it was a pretty room or it was good toys. But here he mentioned the people, and that was like the light bulb to us of, this is a good place.
Her toddler experience with her toddler teacher, she would give her a cup when she went out on the playground because she knew she loved to dig for worms. And so she would be out there in her dress digging for worms. And, you know, it was just this aha moment for me of like, oh, wow, you see my kid and you know my kid, and you know, she's still digging for worms and bugs and any animal she can get her hands on.
They do continue to make the effort to welcome people of all kinds of backgrounds. They made it their mission to do that, and I really take that into my heart and appreciate it a lot.
With Baker, as soon as you walk in the doors, you can kind of just tell that this is a home.
Baker is a place that puts kids first, and it's not about making grown-ups feel better about the kinds of experiences that kids are having. It's about giving the kids something special to take forward with them.
It really resonated with me, just the way that Baker allowed children the freedom to plan their own learning and have a voice in what they felt was important and relevant for them to learn.
Staying true to those progressive roots on the one hand, but on the other hand, making sure that the program is such that the kids are so well prepared to thrive academically after Baker.
I've never been someone that can really learn from someone projecting something on a screen. I need to be doing something with my hands, and Baker has been really accommodating to that.
Growing up in the middle school, your teacher was someone that you could joke around with. They would know what was going on in your life. That was really special.
There's space for everybody. In this time when we're looking at diversity, our heritage is rooted in difference.
If I didn't believe that the diversity and equity and inclusivity work was being done here to make sure that my children feel safe here and are seen and have windows and mirrors for their experiences in life, I couldn't stay either, because I would feel out of alignment with what I know is best and what I want for my children. I love that my kids are here with me, and this is the education I want for every child.
You know, he's a world beater, and I really attribute his academic success and his confidence to Baker.
They do leave with that sense of a good sense of self, and then a sense of, and here's what I'm going to do for my community, as opposed to like looking to see what people can do for them.
This was the place that we wanted her to be, and when she got her voice, which was very young, thanks to Baker, she didn't want to leave. So it really became kind of a no-brainer to stay. And honestly, she'll graduate next year and wouldn't have made any other choice. Like, this is just where she belongs.
If it wasn't for the fact that we would have found out about Baker or even been here, I don't think I'd be reaching out to as many opportunities or knocking on as many doors as I do knock on today.
We're all here for the same reason. It's for the children. So we all need to use our voice to advocate for children, because kids that leave here have had amazing experiences, and it's because people have helped nurture and guide their way through. So we need to make sure that we're using our voice.
The intellectual curiosity, the way that the faculty manifests the mission, the parents and their deep commitment to the school and their deep commitment to something that is much bigger than their nuclear family inspired me. I'm here because I fell in love.
To have the chance to just light a little bit of a spark and then see how they run with it as individuals, that's what Baker is to me.
The fact that they are so happy to come to school every day really means a lot to me.
She said to me, Mom, I think that Baker is focused on learning for life and not just learning for school. And that epitomized for me our sense of what Baker does, and that she's taking that away from it means that they've been successful.
Children always surprise. If you give them the space to share what they're thinking, if you ask rather than tell, if you invite them to perform in a way that they would choose, they always surprise.
Baker is a really special place. I mean, you're not going to find any other school that's as loving, as supporting, as safe an environment as it is here.
The centennial is important, but what's more important is a youthful, aspiring school that wants to be as good as it can be.